everybody, welcome to Sports Grind Season 2, Episode 16. My name is Tyler Wargo.
And I'm Mickey Perella.
And today we have a lot to talk about. NBA trading, that went down. A lot has been trading, different teams. We're going to be giving 5 trades because I know there's been too much trades. So we're only going to explain 5 trades. So we're also going to be talking about the NFL Week 13 and then NFL Week 14, which started last Thursday. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting off with the NBA trades, we're going to give our 5 trades that happened in the NBA. We have AD and LeBron. They both agreed to a 2-year contract extension with the Los Angeles Lakers. So the Lakers aren't going to be looking bad next year and for years to come, as they're still keeping their main guys like AD and LeBron. Tristan Thompson also signed a deal with the Boston Celtics. As I'm a Celtics fan, I think that's a great move right there. Tristan Thompson, he used to play on the Cavaliers, he was a center, but now he's back on the Celtics, so he's going to be playing really well.
Definitely. What I really like about Tristan Thompson is that he can really rebound, and that's good because the Celtics don't really have that much rebounding. So that's really good for them. He's an improvement over Enes Kanter, who really didn't rebound that much. I think Tristan Thompson can provide that for the Celtics.
I think he's a good player to also improve too, so. We also have Alfred Payton signed a $5 million deal with the Knicks. Rondo also agreed a 2-year deal with the Atlanta Hawks, signing a $15 million contract. So these contracts are pretty expensive. So once you're on that team, you better help that team.
The Atlanta Hawks have been very impressive this offseason. Not only did they add a really good point guard in Rajon Rondo, they added some shooters. Danilo Gallinari from the Oklahoma City Thunder and Bogdan Bogdanovic from the Sacramento
They're going to be looking good. Watch out for the Hawks.
With Trae Young, their three-point shooting
they also
point guard.
are a dominant team too.
They are.
Like, they've been dominant.
Expect the Hawks to take another leap.
They really have a good point guard now, so they're set with their guards and everything. Maybe a center.
Maybe. I mean, they do have Capella right now, but they could use another backup center to fill in.
Who knows?
Holes.
I mean, NBA, I know in NFL a lot of players got hurt. Who knows what happened in the NBA. Russell Westbrook also is now with the Wizards, going with John Wall on the Houston Rockets. That was actually one of the biggest trades.
Definitely,
especially when Westbrook is not with Harden anymore. He doesn't have that chemistry. So when he's with the Washington Wizards, let's see if him and Bradley Beal can be that dominant duo.
Definitely. I really like this from the Wizards. I mean, Russell Westbrook is a top 15 player in the NBA, and you just paired him with your star in Bradley Beal. And the Wizards haven't been relevant in a while, so this probably puts them on the map. As for the Rockets, this makes absolutely no sense for them. I mean, James Harden wants out, so you're going to trade for John Wall, who's coming off injuries.
I don't think John Wall's
not the same guy.
I don't think he's going to be getting that good chemistry with the Rockets, in my opinion.
I mean, Harden wants out. He really wants to go to Brooklyn and join KD and Kyrie.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand how John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins really helped them.
No. And I don't think that was the smartest trade. You could have sent John Wall somewhere else. The Rockets could easily get someone else for Harden, but instead they had to make that move. That move was not the best trade, but, you know. I definitely can see the Westbrook, though, going on to Wizards and helping Bradley Beal, but I don't know about
the only thing that I see working with the Rockets is that John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins were college teammates, so they got that connection. Now, James Harden doesn't really want to be there. Maybe you can trade him for some more players
James Harden will get traded. I don't know what team, but he's definitely going to get traded.
Definitely. 4 teams right now that he wants to go to are Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, and Miami. So
watch out for Brooklyn. He has a high chance of going to Brooklyn.
Yeah, definitely Brooklyn.
We also take you over to NFL Week 13, which was last weekend. Saints still looking strong without Breeze, beating the Falcons 21-16. I mean, just like what you said, when Breeze got hurt last year, they put Bridgewater in. He was doing excellent. And they're doing the same thing right now, but with Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is putting on a great show for the Saints right now. Definitely showing Matt Ryan and the Falcons. And Falcons right now, division of the lead, they have to pick themselves up. They got to improve. With the Saints right now, they're heading into the divisional series. Can't wait to see that.
Yeah, one thing I'm really impressed with is Sean Payton and his use with backup quarterbacks. They're undefeated.
Yeah.
Since Drew Brees has been injured the last 2 years, they've been undefeated.
Yeah.
Just really good coaching by Payton.
Unlike the Cowboys, they've been going through they've been replacing their QBs left and right. But with the Saints, though, they just have these QBs are acting like starters.
They are.
So
that's why Teddy Bridgewater got the gig in Carolina because of how well he played last year.
I'm not surprised by that too. Browns also working their way up in the division, winning 41-35, facing the Titans. Browns got a big win against Tannehill and the Falcons. I mean Tannehill and the Titans, but honestly, the Titans, like, I think that was just a missed call right there. I think they're definitely going to win games. That loss doesn't define them, but definitely the Browns are improving, and we're seeing that playoffs maybe for the Browns.
Definitely, this was a statement game for the Cleveland Browns. I mean, they've had so many haters, including me, all season long, saying, "Oh, the Browns aren't really as good." But you know what? The Browns are forced to be reckoned with right now.
When we first started with the NFL season, the Browns were doing terrible, and now they picked themselves up, especially with their defense. They've definitely been working with their defense.
I mean,
and their defense is the key right now.
I was guilty of this. You can go back to the tapes and look. I said that the Browns are fool's gold. They're getting useless wins, but against the Titans, that big win and Baker Mayfield going off. I mean, the Browns could easily upset a team and make their way to the Super Bowl.
Baker Mayfield came up from a slump, so Lions also tackled the Bears 34-30. Bears fell off as of past few weeks. As we've seen the Bears, they've been rising, now they fell off. So now they took that loss against the Lions, and now they might be saying goodbye to their playoff spot.
Definitely. The Bears, we knew when they were 5-1, it was fool's gold. Now they're 5-6, so
not looking good.
Not looking good for the Bears.
Dolphins 8-4 now, beating the Bengals 19-7. So Bengal fans wait until next year, because honestly the Bengals just need to pick up better players, because their players right now are not good. Going with their defense.
No Joe Burrow, no chance of winning. But for the Dolphins, they're getting really close to the playoffs. Hopefully you guys
I think they can make it. I think they can make it. I think it's possible for the Dolphins to make it. This is not the Jaguars year either, as they lost 24-27 against the Vikings. Now, the Vikings actually won a game. Now the Jaguars weren't good to begin with. So, obviously, the Vikings, I think them getting this win, I don't think they're still going to make them into the playoff spot, but that was a good win by the Vikings right there.
Yeah, the Vikings have been, kind of tough, been in games, winning games, losing games, but the Jaguars got to give a lot of credit to them. They've been, 1-11 this season?
Yeah.
They're winning games right now.
Yeah, and that's crazy right now. Colts also win 26-20. Phillip Rivers did so well with the offense facing the Texans. Texans are not that good of a team as well. Jets also came so close. They've been coming close a couple games now. So, as they've been coming close in many games, they still lost 31-28 against the Las Vegas Raiders. So, obviously, the Raiders, they're making it to the playoffs. It's been really easy for them. They've been facing some easy teams as of late, besides the Chiefs. But they beat the Jets. So, good win by the Raiders right
Anybody
there.
that can beat the Jets.
Yeah, but Jets came close, so remember that. Mickey also might be onto something, because the Giants actually beat the Seahawks 17-12 and are racing to the divisional series.
I mean, I didn't expect
the Giants to beat the
Seahawks.
The Giants started off the season doing really bad, and now they're doing really good now. So.
Well, yeah, I really like the Giants because their defense played hard, and Joe Judge threw the right coach for this team. Mm-hmm. But they beat the Seahawks with a backup quarterback and Colt McCoy, and their really good defense. I was very shocked about that. Russell Wilson and the Seahawks got to figure it out, because the Giants, even though they're the best team in their division, they're not that great of a team in general.
Nope.
So the Seahawks got to be better. But the Giants right now...
I mean, the Seahawks still can make it to the playoffs.
The Giants right now have the edge in the playoffs, but look out for Washington, as we'll get to them in a second.
Look out for Washington. Rams also fought hard, beating the Cardinals 38-28. Jared Goff is the man to look at in that game. Jared Goff, I mean, this man's going to lead the Rams to the Super Bowl if the Rams make it to the Super Bowl. You're going to look at Jared Goff. Jared Goff is the man to look at. He had 3 touchdowns that game. That really shows something right there.
If you remember, 2 years ago, Jared Goff led the Rams to the Super Bowl, even though they lost. I mean, Jared Goff has that in him, and Sean McVay's a good coach. The Rams can still have a good chance.
Maybe they can actually win it. Who knows?
And also that LA thing, remember? LA team's winning.
The triangle.
Yeah.
Always got to remember that. Huge shutout as the Patriots dominated the Chargers 45-0. Cam Newton made Belichick proud. What a huge win. Chargers aren't as good, but the Patriots, I mean, putting that much points on the board really shows something. So, what does this mean for the Patriots?
Well, I still doesn't mean much for the Patriots. I mean, I know it's a big win.
I still feel like they need to keep their wins consistent. We need to see these wins more consistent, then we can talk.
Yeah, I know that the Patriots, had this huge win and everything, but it doesn't really matter that much in the long haul. I mean, considering the fact that the Dolphins and the Bills are ahead of them in the standings, this is the worst year for the Patriots in about 20 years. I mean, I don't really see much about the Patriots.
They're literally the NFL's, they're like the Golden State Warriors for the NFL.
Right. Exactly.
They got that chemistry. They got that franchise. They got the fan base. They got everything.
But it's also not the same when you lose Tom Brady and Cam Newton, who really isn't the same.
They also
anymore.
probably left a lot of fans too.
Oh, another thing about the Chargers before we move on. How did you get shut out this badly? This was a devastating.
We could have at least seen not even 3 points on the board. That's
Chargers
crazy.
fans, expect your coach to be out the door soon because you guys got a really good quarterback in Justin Herbert. You got to take advantage of him right now. I don't think Anthony Lynn is the coach for the
He's
future.
a good QB, but it's just the coach that's making the play call.
Exactly.
So, Eagles been looking bad as of late as they lost 30-16 in Green Bay facing Rodgers and Jones and the Packers. Easy win also for the Chiefs, beating the Broncos 22-16. Chiefs been facing bad teams as of late, but they're still keeping their wins consistent and keeping it going. Obviously, Mahomes is still the guy to look at. I mean, the Broncos were fighting, though, in that game.
They were fighting. Really, the Broncos have to give a lot of credit to them for fighting after all they've had.
And
this
also,
season.
they have been getting a lot of injured players, too.
They have. A lot of
They
injured
also
players.
got 2 injured players in that game, too, I saw.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's kind of crazy.
They really
right
did
there.
fight hard. But one thing we forgot to mention about the Eagles is that they're the biggest disaster in the NFL this season. Just a complete and utter disaster.
Also kind of the Broncos too. Like we saw them fight and everything, but we also got to look at their whole season.
Definitely.
They've been losing all their games, practically almost all their games. So imagine also the worst team. One of the worst teams in their division, which is the Washington State football team, who literally beat the Steelers. Since when? Like, we haven't seen them come close to winning games. We have seen them win every now and then, but we've always been seeing them lose, and they finally got, I think it was luck, they finally got lucky beating the Steelers. So now the Steelers are 11-1. That was a crazy game.
That was a crazy game.
I think he just had an off game. It happens. The Steelers are going to be getting wins, but like we said in a couple episodes back, we knew that the Steelers were going to lose one of these games.
Definitely. We knew they were going to lose a game one of these days, but I don't think we expected Washington. But one thing about Washington that we have to give a lot of credit to, Alex Smith, coming back from that ridiculous injury.
Let's all give a shout out to Alex Smith right now. That guy
he shouldn't even
is the
been playing.
face of the Washington football team.
And they've been playing better with him, and they're starting to get it on a consistent basis, and now they beat Pittsburgh.
That's crazy.
If Giants keep losing and Washington wins, they can easily win the division.
It's between the Giants and Washington football team right now, so keep an eye out for that. Bills also down the 49ers 34-24. Ravens also back on top from an easy win against the Cowboys 34-17. Andy Dalton is just doing terrible right now. We've never seen him do as bad. He could not handle the Ravens defense at all. So that was a big upset for the Cowboys right there. Patriots also, like we said, are not keeping their wins consistent. They lost last Thursday 24-3 against the Rams, but the Rams are staying on top. But let's see them keep it up through the playoffs too, because we know the Rams are going to make it through the playoffs, but how far do they make it into the playoffs is our question, because I know the playoffs are coming up.
That's definitely the question for the Rams.
So we're going to have to watch out and see what the Rams do. Pay attention to the Rams. They're coming up. Jared Goff is also getting these touchdowns left and right. He's also handling the offense pretty well. Is going with the coach. So lots to see right now in football. A lot of craziness has happened. Going with Washington beating the Steelers, Giants actually beating the Seahawks. Been crazy this past weekend, but we're going to see what's going to happen this upcoming weekend in week 14. So, without further ado, that's it. My name's Tyler Orgo.
And I'm Mickey Peralta.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Sports Grind Season 2, Episode 16. Bye.